What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. He warns Tyson Fury and fires back at him and questions his two good fights on his record. Of course, we know that Tyson Fury dethroned Deontay Wilder and then went on UK Morning in the aftermath and declared AJ's WBA, IBF, WBO belts are merely his leftovers. And of course, he said those are mine. He says that I've already been the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world when I beat Klitschko. So as far as I'm concerned, Anthony Joshua only has my leftovers. I never lost the belts. I had to vacate them for my mental health problems. They're my belts. How can you claim to be a champion when you haven't beat the champion? Backstory. That's what Tyson Fury had to say. And this is what Anthony Joshua says. He says the fight can happen when Tyson Fury gets past his third match with Deontay Wilder, when I get past my next match with Kubrat Pulev. If Fury wants that fight to happen, he'll make it happen. We're keen. We always like to put on big events and cater for the boxing community. So that's something that we'll take really seriously. He's had two good fights in his career, in my opinion, against Klitschko and Wilder, and he's managed to win them both. So he's on a high right now. But he has to be careful what he wishes for, because the young gunners are coming up and will definitely take that Tyson Fury challenge with both hands. Wow. You know, Anthony Joshua says certain things. He doesn't really come out a lot of times and says something blatant. You know, he has what you call subtle insults. He'll do a subtle insult. Again, you have to have some type of level of intelligence to really pick it up, because you don't really think he's really going hard. He doesn't really go in on his opponents. Like Deontay Wilder is blatant. Like, you know, he coward, he's scared. AJ, he won't do that a lot. Like I said, a lot, okay? Because, you know, he did call Lennox Lewis a clown, right? But that's pretty much as bad as it gets, you know, with Anthony Joshua. A lot of times he breaks down the layers, and he actually has a point, you know, I mean, because Tyson Fury, when he does come and step up to the bat, he does rise to the occasion, no doubt about it. When he comes in there and he says he's going to do something, he's going to make it count. And no one has been able to beat him yet, okay? But they are too far few in between. He beat Klitschko in 15, sung like a rock star afterwards, took all those belts, and then didn't defend those belts. Klitschko wanted that rematch, didn't give him the rematch, okay? He fell from grace with the mental, he fell ill to the mental illness and all the other inner demons that was going on in his life at the time. And then he kind of went in exile, you know, doing, you know, God knows what, and abusing his body and, you know, a lot of other stuff. We know the story, okay, because he said it many, many times. You know, check out his book also, Tyson Fury. You know, shouts out to Fury. But when he did come back, he fought the WBC heavyweight champion, Deontay Wilder, drawed with Wilder. Therefore, by default, Wilder kept the belt, fought two other touch-up fights. Okay, so two before Wilder, two after Wilder, then knocked out Wilder. Okay, now, if you look at his resume, Anthony Joshua has a point, because he's done miraculous things. And if you really look at it, Klitschko was the defining win. You can't compare Klitschko to Wilder. He didn't knock out Klitschko, okay? Klitschko didn't talk about his knees was weak because of a costume he decided from his fiance. None of that. None of that rubbish. Okay? So it was, by far, Klitschko was the bitch of the bunch. It was the fight that defined him. Okay, him stopping Wilder, what made it so significant is he's the first to do it. He won't be the last to do it. Mark my words on that. Because people are going to come for Deontay Wilder, and I don't feel Deontay Wilder, you know, has the arsenal at this point of time to keep these young guns off of him. You know what I mean? He was just, what made it significant, he was the one that took that O. Okay? So that is, you can't overlook that. But to compare it to Klitschko, yeah, really, you know what I mean? That's far more impressive because Klitschko was the 10-year reigning champion, not the 10 title defenses. For 5 of those defenses, we didn't know really who the hell they really were. Deontay Wilder fought. So, fighting and beating someone like Deontay Wilder, yes, it's an accomplishment, but you have to measure how high was that accomplishment at this point. And it really, it does, it matters to see what Wilder does later in his career. Because like I said again, and I'll say it before, I'll say it again. Wilder, or anybody that loses to a fighter, it's what they do after the loss. And in whatever they do, it's almost like that fighter that beat them overrides them because that's the fighter that done it. So if Wilder can go in and knock out every other opponent except Tyson Fury will still be that thorn in his side. So no, we can't take that away. But at the end of the day, Wilder always was criticized for his resume himself. Okay, while Anthony Joshua's been fighting guys back to back to back to back to back. Okay, and he's been there half the time. So he does have that. So Joshua warns Tyson Fury, hey, if you want it, you can get this fight. In fact, I'm going to drop a video tomorrow. I keep forgetting about this, but I will drop it tomorrow, showing this is ever more realistic. Okay? So stay tuned for that video with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. But it is good to see the response from Anthony Joshua responding to Tyson Fury because, Tyson Fury was saying the belts don't count or whatnot. Counterpunching that. Look, let's look at it like this. You have a guy that took your belts after you lost your belts due to mental illness. You would think, guys, the first thing you would do when you came back into the sport of boxing was reclaim what you already had or what you thought was yours. Right? Think about it. Me counterpunching that, that's how I looked at it. You went for the WBC like, okay, those belts aren't shit anymore. But they were. Because if they weren't, you wouldn't be talking about them. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be saying what I got from Klitschko. Klitschko had them. Klitschko was definitely the shit. Right? So you got those belts. You lost those belts. You didn't lose them in the ring. So it's time for you to get them back in the same place you got them, in the ring. That's my counterpunch on that. Just food for thought, guys. You guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.